Learning the letter of law. Perhaps you wouldn't believe. I learned the letter of law not from the law books, but from my very own maid servant. I had engaged her to clean my vessels. One day, thanks to the birthday party at home, I asked her to wash the cutlery. She flatly refused and said that I had engaged her to clean the metallic vessels only and not the cutlery. Greatly annoyed by her reply, I dismissed her instantaneously with a lesson learned. What was the lesson? You may well ask me. I decided to engage two maids, one for the cups and another for saucers. I suspect that the war on tariff between China and the US would escalate if they follow this trick of charging different tariffs for different components of a single product. Mr. Trump, are you listening? Who knows if your advisors are already working on new strategies to grab more cream? My knowledge of the letter of law sharpened as I started studying labor management relations. Even before learning the job assigned to them, the workers seemed to know what was not their work. A mechanical maintenance employee would not touch the electric motor only because it was outside the jurisdiction of his section. My interactions with people in various government offices, say from post offices to municipal corporation and from railways to road transport, made me wonder if the letter of law prevailed everywhere even when the rule of law was absent. Rule of law, for instance, demanded that all customers be treated equally and fairly. But the rich and famous have always been treated differently. Our people, after all, are the ardent followers of the pigs on George Orwell's Animal Farm. The big brother pig said, all are equal, but some are more equal than others. Also, the letter of law is literally used to benefit the person who is supposed to offer his service. The windows meant for offering services in these public places may not open on time due to internet disconnectivity, but always close at the stated time, especially during lunch breaks. Letter of law is thus a tool to either escape from the legal clutches or to catch the opposition into the trap. Let me explain how. I learned these tricks from the union leaders in the manufacturing sector when their whims and fancies ruled the shop floors. In one company, the operatives were given medical benefits if they met with an injury on their way from home to factory. No sooner was this facility announced than there was a sudden rise in road accidents reported by the employees. Even a slightest scratch during a morning shave was claimed to be due to a collision with a bicycle rider on the road. Great dramatist William Shakespeare knew the dramatic effect of the letter of law when he wrote his play The Merchant of Venice. In this, as per the loan contract between the moneylender Shylock and Bassanio, the latter had agreed to pay a pound of his flesh if he failed to repay the loan. Unfortunately, Bassanio met with calamities that made it impossible to repay the loan. When he was required to give a pound of his flesh, his lawyer argued that as per the agreement, Shylock should take only his pound of flesh without a single drop of blood. This being impossible, Shylock lost his case. The wisdom learned through this play, as also my fieldwork in industries, came to my rescue and saved my face when the university charged me a fine of rupees 1000 for lying down beneath the banyan tree on the lawn of the campus garden. I had allegedly violated the rule written on the board put up at the entrance. Do not walk on the lawn, said the rule. The registrar sent me the notice to present myself in the office of the university law officer. I confessed as soon as I sat in the culprit's dock, that is, a broken wooden chair in the university setup. Yes, madam, I did sleep on the lawn, I said, but that does not mean that I have violated your rule. How dare you say this? The law officer asked me rudely. I smiled deliberately to annoy her more and said, Ma'am, the rule only says that walking on the lawn is prohibited. I was merely lying down in the shade and that too during recess. I never walked on the lawn, and most importantly, I did not litter the place. How did you reach the spot where you slept? Certainly not by a helicopter, the law officer said in a victorious tone. And who knows if you sleepwalked during your siesta? Madam, you would do well in getting an eyewitness before accusing me of sleepwalking, I said. As the law officer could not produce an eyewitness, she reduced the fine to one third of the original amount. I could not bargain for further reduction. When the matter was reported to the Vice Chancellor, he asked me to take two classes that a guest lecturer was supposed to take. He then directed the registrar to use the saved money for repainting the board outside the garden as "Please keep off the grass."